Welcome back to this channel. Last time we looked at some of the basic and fundamental rights of suspects within the precinct of police station, and we looked at the fact that the police have the right to arrest, prevent crime, apprehend criminals, as well as carry out investigation and do all other things guaranteed under section 4 of the Police Act 2020. We also looked at the fact that the police or the government, the security and welfare of the citizens is the primary responsibility of the government, and that they have by virtue of section 14 of the 1999 Constitution. We also looked at the fact that some of the rights of a suspect within the premises or the precincts of the custody of security agencies. Number one, they have the right to a counsel, a right to a legal practitioner, and where they cannot find a legal practitioner, precisely section 17 sub 2 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act has also provided some leeways. They can also have a right to meet with an officer of the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria, or a justice of the peace, or any civil society organization, someone who works there, or anybody of their choice. We've also seen that a suspect has the right to remain silent. We also seen that a suspect has the right to an interpreter of his choice, and the suspect has the right to be informed the reason for the arrest. And then we have also seen a lot of others which you might want to check out in my previous video, so that you can be informed of, aware of the rights of a suspect within the precinct of the police or any security agency within that custody. Before the suspect proceeds to writing a statement, this right are what inures in favor of the suspect. But let's move on to another important right of a suspect within the premises of the police, and that you will see under section 35 sub 4 and 5 of the 1999 Constitution, and that is the right to bail. Every suspect has a right to bail. Bail is a temporary release of the suspect from the custody of the state. The state in this sense could be the police force, could be the EFCC, which is the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It could be the DSS or the SSS, as they might want to be known. It could also be the ICPC. It is a fundamental right. So, because first, the Constitution, section 36 sub 5, provides that every person who is charged with a criminal offense is presumed innocent until proven guilty. In this sense, this suspect has not even been charged. So the presumption of innocence, if there's any word, over inures in their favor. Any word like over inure. Beg your pardon by my English. But however, a suspect is presumed innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, and that presumption of innocence makes a suspect a suspect. Just imagine the reasoning for this. If a suspect is held in custody for so long a period of time and the court decides, or the person goes to court and the court decides that the person was never guilty, what happens to the period of time the suspect has been remanded for so long a time? That's why bail is fundamental. Secondly, bail is important because the Constitution guarantees freedom of movement. Section 41 of the 1999 Constitution guarantees the right of Nigerians to freely move anywhere they want to, and that's why it's important to grant them that bail. Secondly, or third, the right to personal liberty is also guaranteed in the Constitution. Therefore, suspects have that right. But however, there are exceptions to this. Number one is usually if the offense that has been alleged or the person has been arrested for is of a capital nature, for instance, murder, these are of a capital nature, and therefore sometimes the police would usually remand such people for a longer period of time beyond the 24 hours or 48 hours guaranteed by the Constitution before taking them to court. However, sometimes as well, the court would also order, when they're eventually taken to court, for accelerated hearing so that the case can conclusively come, to an end. What is bail? Bail, like we have said, is a right that inures in favor of the suspect. So it's a temporary release of the individual to, the custody from the custody of the prosecutorial agencies. Another important right that you should know that a suspect has is the right to be charged to court, not just to be kept in custody of the prosecutorial agencies, the right to be taken to court, and that we have seen, or we would see, in section 35 of the 1999 Constitution. All right, let's move on further. Another right of the suspect is the right to be allowed to prepare adequately for his or her defense. In this sense, during the police investigation, during the police interrogation, the suspect would have in a way been made to understand the reason for the arrest, and that would give the suspect comprehensive knowledge of the reason for the charge, and therefore, or the reason for the allegation, and therefore would have made the suspect prepare adequately, because the suspect would have been confronted with documents, with what people have said, with petitions and all that, and that would make the suspect to adequately prepare. So the suspect cannot just be told you did this without presenting presenting evidence before the suspect, confronting the suspect with this evidence. That's also very important. These are some of the rights of a suspect guaranteed under the 1999 Constitution. I hope you've learned something. We'll see you next time so that we discuss more on issues like this.